In this video, we're breaking down both the goods and the not so goods of living in the city of Cape Coral, Florida. We're gonna walk through 4 of the main keys to each side of the spectrum. So hopefully when you're venturing into your relocation or investment journey, you can make the smartest decision possible. Welcome back to the Naples, Florida Relocation Guide, the smartest way to move to or invest in the entire Naples, Fort Myers greater area. I'm your host, Adam Hancock. Please subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos, and please check out our brand newly launched free digital guide to Naples, Florida. Unbelievable resource if you're looking to come to the area, and let's get started. Today in this video, along with my colleague, Tom Ilg, we wanted to give our personal thoughts related to this very unique part of Florida's Gulf Coast. You know, there's pros and cons to every area, this one included. So hopefully you find this discussion useful, and let's get started. Okay, pro number 1, cheaper waterfront living.
For example, if I'm showing homes in Cape Coral and our budget's 1.3, that's going to get you 2,500 to 3,200 square feet on a wide canal, deep water, access to the Gulf, newer home. If I'm taking your same budget and I'm looking in Sarasota, I'm going to be showing you a decrepit teardown or a vacant lot on the water. If we're moving inland, then we're over in Lakewood Ranch, but that may defeat the purpose because now we're 30 to 45 minutes away from the water.
Pro number 2, a growing economy. So as cities like these become in vogue, there are certain advantages that naturally would emerge when it comes to economic advantages. You know, Cape Coral, for instance, has a unemployment rate that's roughly 30%. It's a couple points, but on a percentage change basis is roughly 30% below the national average. Year over year, the job growth is also 2% up in the Cape Coral versus Cape Coral year over year spectrum. And more importantly, the forecast for the next 10 years has Cape Coral as one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. For the last several years now at 41% increase over a 10-year basis on job growth, which is 8 points over the national average's forecast. And then you take a lower sales tax to the national average and you take no state income tax as a Florida benefit. It makes a very interesting mix. And from an industry standpoint, just to bring this full circle, you're gonna have retail options like Publix, which is based in Lakeland. You have Target, you have Home Depot. Lee County Schools is a big one for teaching and educational opportunities. Healthcare is really emerging there as well. So all in all, you should be in pretty good shape. Pro number 3, the seafood scene is simply amazing.
Let's talk entertainment. And when I talk about entertainment, I'm specifically referring to waterfront restaurants and bars. And with that, let's compare Sarasota County with Cape Coral. Sarasota County, which includes Sarasota, Longboat, Siesta, Lido, you're talking about maybe 10 restaurants and bars. Now let's jump down to Cape Coral. We've got 30 to 35 restaurants and bars that you can drive, that are waterfront, that you can drive to, or more importantly, you can boat to. They're all going to offer amazing food. And what do you typically eat in Florida? Seafood. Everything is fresh here. You want grouper, you want scallops, you want shrimp, you want triple tail, you want some cobia, you want some snapper. It's all here, it's all fresh, and it's all delicious. But anyways, an amazing restaurant scene in Cape Coral.
And pro number 4, things to do in and around Cape Coral, Florida. Okay, so first, the no-brainer, low-hanging fruit here that we've been hitting over and over is just water lifestyle, waterfront lifestyle. So you have more canals than all time, basically, 400 canals that open into the Caloosahatchee, because you have a river and a Gulf-based stuff. You have the Matlacha Pass, the Gulf of Mexico directly. So the reason a lot of people are looking at this area, it starts with the boating or boating fringe lifestyle. This one's hard to beat. Secondly, the downtown I want to put on this list. Now, granted, for having one of the biggest city between Tampa and Miami in the entire state, the downtown's not large. But on its own, it's eclectic, and I think it'll get cooler. But you have, you know, restaurants, you have bars, there's a farmer's market there. It's a little funky. So if you're looking at things to do in this area, this would definitely be on the list. Okay, and other than that, it can't go without mentioning to say that, you know, the benefit of Cape Coral was usually like a cost first thing or a boating first thing as it relates to the city, but things to do in the general area would definitely be an advantage to the cost of living in this area, if that makes sense. So for instance, you have, if you look on a map, which we'll show here, but you look to the left of Cape Coral, you have Pine Island, you have Sanibel, you have Captiva, drive or boat to them. You have Fort Myers Beach that's also 16 miles away. So outside of Cape Coral, for all the con part of not having beaches and that kind of thing, a pro would be proximity to the close by Paradise. Okay, con number one, the overall location. All right, so in my experience, you end up in Cape Coral because you were looking at Sarasota and you were looking at Naples as major flanks. So you weaved your way down, and it makes a lot of sense in the funnel of the cost equation. But as a negative to the location is for those same reasons. You are an hour and a half from Sarasota. As Naples, a lot of people feel like it's close. You're an hour in traffic to Naples. So you do have to consider that. So you want to find value in what Cape Coral is, in not a negative to it, like you just can't afford the other areas and you went down. You want to find value on its own within the city, because if you're really valuing the surrounding cities, you might not be happy with your decision. Con number two, no real Gulf front beaches.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Let's talk beaches. Cape Coral does not have any Gulf front beaches. They do have a small municipal beach on the Caloosahatchee River. It's small, it's well kept, but it's nothing comparable to what Siesta Key or Longboat or Lido offer. But you're not going to Cape Coral as a replacement to any one of those locations. You're typically going because you're a boater. Now, if you're a boater, the world is your oyster. You can hop in the boat, shoot across the intercoastal, and moor an anchor right out in front of Sanibel Island, in front of Captiva Island, without the crowds, without the hour-and-a-half traffic going back on the two-lane road. It's easy in and out. Typically, boaters are not real concerned about the beaches anyways, because they can just boat to it.
Con number three, sparse shopping options.
Shopping. If you're a shopper, that may be something to think about. There's no Costco, there's no mall, but there are some big box stores, BJ's, Sam's Club, but most people are doing a lot of online shopping these days, so I don't know that that's really a big concern. If you want outlets, if you're an outlet mall hunter, you can wrap right around to Fort Myers, down to Naples, or up to Sarasota. You've got multiple to choose from, just not anything in Cape Coral.
And con number four, this is going to be a bonus speed round of everything else. All right, and lastly, just a couple other things to consider. First off, probably not the best city for younger people as staying in the city itself. So Fort Myers is going to have more options for younger folks. Parts of Sarasota, definitely parts of Tampa is going to be better for younger people. But young couples, etc., unless you're really romantic about boating, probably not ideal. Secondly, 400 canals, flood insurance, and flood possibilities will be something that you can't completely avoid. And lastly, there are bottlenecks. So yes, you are very close to the islands, but if you're driving there or boating there or whatever, you are going to have the traffic that goes in congruence with that. And if you're not looking for that kind of thing, this is a destination spot for those single bridges, and that could be a negative to you in the traffic equation. All right, that does it for this one. Thanks so much for watching the Naples, Florida Relocation Guide. I'm your host, Adam Hancock. Before you leave, make sure you check out that free digital guide right here. Absolutely free, awesome resource, and we'll see you on the next video.